supersedes all state law. It's to the states or to the people. That's another one of the amendments. I'm just stating this for the record. It's not argumentative. I'm just merely stating it on and for the record that Virginia is a part of the United States of America. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, and are you under the Constitution and Bill of Rights of this country?
I am.
Okay, so the supreme law of the land would certainly govern Virginia as well as the other states. So I'm merely stating that this is without a court order, without a warrant, without oath or affirmation, probable cause, with a court official overseeing this, with the specific items to be searched and the specific items to be seized and or people. This is a violation of a Fourth Amendment right for Ruth, myself, as well as you. So go ahead and you can continue.
Okay. And you can bring that up in the hearing when we have the court date with the judge. There will be a 5-day hearing. You'll be notified at that 5-day hearing.
You're actually breaking up quite a bit. Let me move to a better location, see if I get a stronger signal. I don't want to miss this. Let me try to move down here a little bit. I'm in a public place, so I can't have this conversation in front of other customers, so I stepped outside the building to try to, keep it polite and private and not be a disruption. So continue.
Okay. You can bring up that argument about the Fourth Amendment and the Constitution at the 5-day hearing with the judge. You'll be notified when the 5-day hearing is, and then you can come to court then. When we go to court, the judge will make a decision as to whether or not we have cause to remove the child, and we'll make a decision if the child is a child that's neglected, and if so.
And what is the basis for the neglect since the child has never left medical care out of the hospital?
That you haven't followed up with making the appointments for the pediatrician.
And what basis and what fact do you have that suggests to you that we haven't already done that as parents and guardians of our son privately and on our own accord and our own volition? And
again, we'll present that information at the 5-day hearing.
I'm asking you, can you reveal that information now? Let me say it in layman's terms. Why do you think we haven't done that already? What makes you think that?
And again, we'll present that at the 5-day hearing.
Okay, so you're refusing to answer the question. Okay, next question.
I don't have any more questions. Do you?
Well, I'm just assuming maybe our statements, the next statement, next question, whatever you may have to say next.
I think I've completed what I needed to say.
Okay, so let me say this on for the record. You're coming into Winchester Medical Center after having gotten an anonymous report on the 9th of this month, prior to the birth of our son, that there was a possible neglect case here. The report was made presumably by Washington County DSS in Hagerstown, Maryland. We don't know that until you release the information of the exact source. And after that, about 20 minutes after my son was born, I was thrown out of the hospital for a no trespass with no explanation. And my son has been in critical condition since the moment he was born. And now, after being in medical care this entire time, you are telling us that he is being seized, not because Washington County DSS has been in contact with you over and over and sent you court papers regarding my situation with them and Ruth's situation with them in Maryland. It's not because of all that, as you stated earlier today, which, by the way, we have recorded on for the record. It's not because of that. It's because you feel that we haven't set the proper doctor's appointments for our son, who has yet to even be discharged from the hospital.
Not only that, also the history with the removal of the children in the past.
Okay, so now it's back to Ruth's history of being an abused foster child, and Dr. Carlton Munson, again, referencing back to Washington County DSS, stating that she's unfit to parent, yet she's never taken the child home 1 second from the hospital, now including Ethan, all because she was abused by her parents, and his opinion is that because she was abused, she might abuse a child, or neglect a child, which she's never actually ever brought home from any medical facility ever. So continue.
and that that you have not really made a plan for the child.
What do you mean by that?
What plan? Well, let me ask you this. What plan would you like us to make, sir? Because we have a plan. We have a plan to have our son discharged, do the car seat.
I have
test,
housing
course,
in Maryland.
Put him in our car and drive to our home and live like normal people. What plan would you prefer that we have?
Well, when I spoke to you on the phone earlier today, your plan was to live in Winchester, and now you say you have housing in Maryland.
I do have housing in Maryland. I said I had Section 8 voucher.
That God said you can have this baby, so therefore here's the baby. It's our responsibility to figure that out. But we do have that figured out. We have 2 options. Actually, we have 50 options because we have a place to live in Hagerstown right now, but we also have a voucher that can take us to all 50 states. So really, we don't have anything that's brought from us, that's prohibited to us. We can go wherever we want until someone comes in and takes our child from us, right out of the hospital, and tells us it's because we don't have a plan and we haven't done the doctor's visits, and yet you have no way to verify that we have not. I mean, you have no idea what we've done and said, what our plans are. And really, sir, no offense, once again, this is with all due respect, this is just on and for the record, our plans with our child are really our business. That's really for us to be concerned about. But since we've never been able to get one out of the hospital, I guess the U.S. government, including the state of Virginia and Winchester, think that, basically Ethan is your child, and you can make the plan for him and not really include us at all. So you carry on. You have armed. This is being done under protest and duress and coercion and the threat of violence and death by the 2 armed officers that are in the hospital room with Ruth and our infant son. So you're taking him by force. Because if you weren't taking him by force, you wouldn't need armed police officers there with a mother and a very, very vulnerable infant who needs his mother.
Yeah, well, the reasons for the officers being here is because of the threats that you've made to other social workers concerning anyone.
But you already knew that he wasn't allowed on the property and he would not be here. So what's the use of having them here?
That has not been put before a judge yet. Let's correct that. The alleged threat. Let's be careful with our words now.
Okay, the alleged threats that you've made towards social workers.
And don't forget, also, they claim that I allegedly threatened my very own children, Evan and Eva Ecker. If you look at the paperwork, you'll see they're included on a protective order as well. And a side note, the same 2 children that I've never had in my custody since the 2nd day or 3rd day they were born, when they came in with armed police officers, 5 hospital security, 1 CPS, 1 social worker, 9 people deep, and took them right off of Ruth's breast while she was breastfeeding, and there had been no allegations, no altercations. It was perfectly peaceful. So, just to lay the groundwork here, just on and for the record, this is an ongoing kidnapping of children by the U.S. government through the states and the Department of Social Services and all of its entities throughout the United States. And I'm going to reference Nancy Schaefer and CPS corruption. Look it up on YouTube. All the statistics are there. This is being done to gain monies through the Adoption and Safe Families Act to get funding. This is not about protecting children. This is about money and giving children to people who cannot have children, or people that just want children to make money off of them. So therefore they take them from people like us. So, on and for the record.
Okay, is there anything else?
There's a lot else, yeah. There's a lot, but we couldn't cover it all tonight.
This should not be done around an infant.
Yeah, and you shouldn't be conducting this around an infant. Exactly. I mean, you talk about the best interest of the child. Why are you conducting this interview while Ethan's sitting right there in her arms? With armed police officers in a room with an infant. I'd call that really, really, really inappropriate. That's something I wouldn't do. That's something I wouldn't do, and yet you consider me to be a neglectful parent.
I can appreciate your concern about Ethan and what's going on right now, but Ethan is fast asleep and has absolutely probably does not know what's going on at this time.
And I'm sure that you know that babies are very perceptive even while they're sleeping, and they can pick up on very, very minute. They're more sensitive than any of us as a child, and that's a scientific fact. If you'd like to look it up on Google, you'll see that. That's why we play music for him, pray over him, talk to him, and read to him while he's still inside of mommy's, because they can still hear and sense things. So I would really appreciate it, for my son's sake, if you would try not to talk around him with this sort of manner.
Okay.
If you could take it out to the hallway or something, I don't know where you can go, but I would appreciate it. If this is going to continue any length of time further, I would appreciate it if you didn't do it around my son.
I have nothing else to say.
Okay. So, what are you taking him right now?
No, he's staying in the hospital.
But you're going to force me to leave. Is that what you're going to do?
See him anymore, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so on and for the record, the mother of the child is now being torn away from her baby and thrown out of the hospital, no longer welcome to your child. All right, Ruth, when do you want me to pick you up? And kiss Ethan for me before you go, if you're allowed to even touch your own child.
He's still in my arms.
Oh, okay. Well, then kiss him for me, tell him I love him, and you know.
I was planning on feeding him at 9 o'clock
by the way,
before I left.
The officers in the background, I don't know who you are, obviously, but I just want to say it's nothing personal to you. I know you're doing your job, so please don't take anything I said offensively. And to you, Mr.
Vandervelde.
I forgot your name. Vanderville.
Yes.
Got you. Mr. Vanderville, just so you know, it's nothing personal to you. I mean that from the heart. It truly is. This is just an ongoing saga.
So,
I have to document.
Since it's almost 9 o'clock, I can't even stay and feed my child before I leave.
Ruth, there's no need to just stay calm and just do as you're instructed. If they tell you to leave, just leave, because we don't need to have it. Just stay calm. I told you this moment was probably going to come, so just stay calm. I know it's hard. I know you love him, but hey, you know they have the guns and they're willing to kill you to enforce whatever their laws are. So don't put Ethan through it. Just stand up, gather your stuff, and I'll meet you down wherever. Just let me know whenever, because you're going to lose.
I'll call you when I'm done.
Just give me a time to meet you. Yeah, give me a time to meet you at CVS, I guess, and I'll meet you there and pick you up. What time do you think you can be at CVS?
I don't know. I'll call you back. Just stay on the phone for now.
Well, do you want me to stay on Skype or on the internet until you get settled? So
Yes, I do.
And don't. Is that thing still recording?
Yes, it is.
Make sure it's okay. Make sure. Incidentally, gentlemen, I want to say this to you. The video portions, I'm sure, will be used, if not all of it, but it will not be misused for any derogatory or defamatory reason towards any of you personally. So don't think this is this is just a serious legal matter that we need to document.
That's why I took most of my stuff out earlier, because I knew this would happen.
It's not meant to be harmful to you in any way. So I'll stay on Skype as long as you need me to, Ruth.
Is this your correct address? P.O. Box 4563.
And Ruth, Ruth. Hey, Ruth, do me a favor. Do not consent to release any information. Just shut it all down. As far as any communicating any information about us, it is now on shutdown. At this point, exercise your
I don't have any
and just
questions
or
go. I can't answer anything right now.
All right.
I refuse.
Mr. Gamble.
Yes, sir, Mr. Vanderbilt.
Just one other question. I need an address so I can send you the information for the time of the hearing.
I'm sure you'll be able to get that through. Just call Washington County. No offense, your department and their department are working diligently against us terrible parents. So just
okay, so
them.
I just want to be clear.
We're on a Fifth Amendment status at this point. No offense to you, but we're going to protect ourselves. So
I just want to
gather your stuff and let me know when you're ready to go. And we'll just go.
I just want to be clear that you're not consenting to give me an address.
I just stated my case pretty clearly, so
Okay.
you can take it for however you want.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
You done, sir?
Yeah.
Miss Empress, you put the baby back in the crib and get your stuff. We'll escort you out.
Ruth, stay strong and be calm, okay? Just stay strong and be calm. This too shall pass. The children will always be yours. They can't stop that. They're always your babies.
Mommy's gotta leave, okay? The cops want Mommy to leave. I'll see you probably when you're 18, because they're not gonna let me have you. Mommy and Daddy love you, okay? Love you, Ethan.
And all our family is back there. They're going to throw a baby shower on us. They were going to give her a baby shower as soon as she got home. They never called her all month ago and asked her, she's coming home, we're going to get you this, that. We've already got it all, but we're going to give us double something. They're doing it right now. The guy's standing there with the cops right now. While she's home. Please stay strong and be calm. Just get out of the hospital and come get you. Please be strong. Don't say a cross word at all. Don't cry if you can help it. Save that for when you leave.
I'm gonna have to go to the lounge and get the rest of my stuff too. Yeah.
Keep that phone in your hand, Ruth, or something. Keep it close so the sound of my voice can still be recorded by the camera.
Now there's 4 police officers here.
You have the nerve to tell me, oh, there's 4 police officers now.
Yep, 2 more.
4 police officers. Why are there 4 police officers?
I don't know, because they probably think I'm gonna flip out or something in front of my own son.
Very calm. Just stay calm. Not that you wouldn't be, but just don't let them upset you. Move slowly. No sudden movements. They will shoot you and kill you right in that hospital, right in front of our son. So just don't do anything sudden. Get your stuff and leave immediately, please. I don't want anything to happen to you, and I definitely don't want anything to happen around Ethan. Just please. I know it's hard. I know you're upset inside. You're hurting. No, he just walked in and said it. Yeah, he told us. He's on speakerphone. He told us, yeah. Because we've neglected him. Apparently they don't have dollar support set up for his care. Even though dollar responsibility to parents is larger and God is the parents of the child. Work that out. Really feel what's parents to have. They can immediately support the income. They don't have a doctor. I really don't see what police guys there. You have a doctor. You are going to a doctor. You're planning on taking the system.
Definitely not leaving my clothes here.
taken still before the court has to be a hold on. It's all allegations, nothing true. They call me individually saying I have this court. They have license. That's why I'm throwing the hospital. They call me.
Yeah, I'm a bad mother, but I have everything for him, right?
That's why I lived in a car instead of being with her to help her. She's never been home 1 second, child.
At least Washington County didn't get him.
She's never, I want to say that again. She's never been home 1 second with a child. She's not on drugs. She has no criminal record. She's a good child. I'm okay. She brought my children. I mean, she's totally protected. And she was a child herself. So have a victim that is victim without a victimizing her again. I mean, that's really well, that's what you have. I'm sure maybe they can talk to the content, but I'm just, I've done it my mom. I remember wherever I thought, well, we're going to do this, we're going to do income, so what's up? I have to take a policy. I have to be assessed for determine we have to live in a certain place, a certain style house, a certain type of car. You know, we don't have to do that. This, apparently the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, you know, this isn't a free country anymore, but they are. So we can live like this, one is life, and also meanwhile, in foster care, my children are beaten, bruised, and possibly and that's okay. Nobody will put that. I'm a crazy person because I get upset because I know what happens once a month when I show when I have pictures and videos when I'm in the DSS listening room and I show them the person, they don't even care. My kids are punching, they're punching like the fence and something smacking them around. We always see these people don't care nothing about it because it's all about money.
Oh, freaking Travis Cole.
And when someone like me gets upset and speaks forcefully about it, when I talk like this and I'm adamant about it, all of a sudden I'm impressed for exercising my free speech. She's in the hospital. Anytime you exercise your rights, your constitutional rights, your right to free speech or whatever, all of a sudden you're a threat. A lawyer from Warrensburg that handles these cases on the side of the parents, let me go because the commissioner knows this is nonsense. The lawyer at the jail told me, the lawyer at the jail told me, he said, these kind of cases, these people, he said, this is a question about the media and by the community and by everybody. Not for anything. But the reason she locked me up, again, I can still be locked up. The reason she locked me up is because she was locked up. Avoid those 13 and a half foot, what was it, did you see on the boat? Jeez, man, and it was a female that was pregnant. Man, I hope you're okay over there. Be safe. Be careful. Shut up and flash like you walk over there. Because you don't like to use that. That's for sure. Be careful with the cat. If there is a male out there, so it wasn't caught, the cat's toast. summertime. I don't see how they could survive the winter here. So it must have been this. It would have had to been this summer. Well, that's true. There are other snakes out there, so maybe they could survive. They go underground. I'm not an expert, but it just seems common sense to me that if she was pregnant, she probably found one out here. Well, anyway, have a good one. And a bobcat stuff in the pool with me. Be careful. That'll hurt you. See you later.
Hey, I'm walking out.
Okay, you're being escorted out?
Yep, by 4 or 5 police officers.
Yeah, you're being escorted out because you're such a threat. You're so threatening. You're a dangerous individual.
In Edison's direct current distribution system,
Yes. I'm getting my food right now.
Are you going to be able to carry? Oh, that's right. You left all the other bags in the car. So you only got a couple things to carry.
I think that's it.
Smart move.
I'm glad I brought those other bags up there earlier.
Yeah, I am too. You wouldn't have been able to walk the CPS and all that.
it's only public demonstrations using continuing dogs.
Is that still recording?
Yeah, it's still recording. Being followed by 2 of them now.
Are you sure it's recording?
Yep.
All right. Aren't you glad you put that new card in it?
Yep.
Hey, when you get down out to the door or wherever they take you, I want you to thank the officers for helping you out. I like to thank them too. Is there a big tall guy named Ray Hoadley there in the group? A big tall guy with a white shirt on?
I don't know. One of the officers.
I like Ray. Ray's fun. He's a nice guy.
I might lose you here in a minute.
You know, I think I busted the back of my shorts out sometime. Jeez. I knew I caught a draft somewhere. Hey, Ruth.
What?
Hey, quick. Let me say this for the officers. I just want to leave this on a real humorous note, and for the social services guy. Just the other day, a horse walked into a bar in Winchester, sat down at the bar. The bartender turned around and said, "Hey guys,
Hey.
why the long face?"
Hey.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah.
I might lose you. I'm going in the elevator.
Not a problem. But how long are you going to be to get there?
I don't know.
I'll be over there. Sure we'll be surrounded by cops.
One of the officers' names was Guy.
Low level.
What'd you say, man?
I said one of the officers' names was Guy.
Okay, are they following you out of the building?
There's 2 security officers, which does not have name tags on.
Oh, okay.
Alright, I'm going out.
Wait, wait.
It's going to be cutting off here in a minute.
Hey, call me on the phone when you get to CVS.
Alright.
All right, bye.
You walking over to CVS with me? You know this is wrong, right? Abuse and neglect. For what? Can't even feed my own fucking child. Hey, are you with Mom? Hey, tell her that they just took custody of Ethan. He's gonna still be in the hospital, but they just escorted me out of the building because they're taking custody of him. I'm not allowed on the property anymore. Apparently, I abused or neglected my son. Because of Washington County calling up here, starting a bunch of bullshit. They said because I neglected him by supposedly not giving them the pediatrician or whatever, setting up an appointment or whatever, and I already made the appointment myself, but apparently they have to do it. They're the ones that's supposed to be making the first appointment. Well, apparently that's what they said. No, for the first appointment for Ethan. Because he has a lot of problems. They're saying that he needs his first appointment set up. Wherever. Yes. I gotta call him because I was just escorted over to CVS across the street from the hospital. I gotta text him because he didn't want to be surrounded by cops. No, they walked me to the end of the entrance, and when I crossed the street, they turned around and walked back up the lane. I couldn't even stay there a couple more minutes to feed my son. That's what I was waiting for to go back to Maryland. And they said no. I was like, are you fucking serious? I didn't flip out. I didn't cry. I almost did, but I kept my cool. I recorded. And there was 4 freaking cops there. And that freaking social services dude. I should have never fucking told him that I was in fucking Winchester. But then again, the freaking hospital would have probably called. Well, we were talking to him on the phone for like an hour and a half. Let me get off of here. I gotta text him. Alright? Alright, bye. Well, they just escorted me off the property away from my son. I'm gonna end this video.